Okay, so my question is for you, Jackson. Okay, long time no see. Nice seeing you again. Criminal Minds.
Yes.
You gave me chills.
Thank you.
So I want to know how hard it was going from the different personalities, because I mean you would just flip like that and freaks me out. So I want to know within acting, how hard was that playing those different roles like that? It's freaky.
Oh, well, thank you. I always wanted to be a freak show. No, it's one of those things. I had literally 1 week off, and my manager approached me, and she was like, "Hey, you know, I know you said you've been looking for some challenging work, and I found this part. I think you'd really like it. Just don't judge it. I'm not going to let you." She was like, "I'm not going to let you." Actually, just read the script. Just read the script, honey. Don't read the synopsis or the character breakdowns. Just read the script. And I was like, okay. So I started reading this episode of Criminal Minds, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And then it got to the end, and I was like, oh my god, my mother would kill me. I have to do this role. And so it was one of those things. It was like I've never played a split personality. I've never played a schizophrenic, and I haven't played a woman. So I just didn't have a chance to get to do all three. Yeah, it was the first time for everything, and it was. I was really worried. I didn't want to make it tranny. You know, I wanted to make it. You know, I wanted to make his. Like Adam's Amanda, I wanted Amanda to be a strong woman, and that to me was the hardest issue. Was not making it schlocky, not making it corny, just kind of making it from the most realistic perspective possible, hopefully. And I was raised with my sisters, and it was just so I kind of stole a little bit of one of my cousin's accents, and it's a touch from Louisiana there, and just kind of I don't know, I just kind of worked it, and thank you, Tim. But it's one of those things where it was I took a lot of advice from Jason Alexander, because he directed the episode, and I was like, I really trusted him. I was like, it's really rough for me to be able to be doing these moments, these quick transitions, and I don't know if they work, because it's you went from just playing kind of almost like yourself, a woman, and then like you're like. Yeah,
they work.
Yeah.
You still got it.
You nailed it.
But it's one of those things, I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
You nailed it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We get to see Amanda again.
Amanda again.
Yes.
I have talked to them about maybe doing that. So.
Tell me the fans want it. Definitely want it.
Well, if y'all write them a bunch of letters, I'm sure it'll be a lot easier than if I keep saying something. It's just like, stop calling me. I just want to wear a dress. That's all. No, people ask me, go play the character again. They're like, nah, I just want to wear a dress again.
They just replayed it last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Little trivia, I'm actually not in a dress ever in that episode. That's
Pink from hair and nails.
Yeah, just in like the pink scrubs. It was funny. You guys seen this? I want to see that. They haven't seen it.
I got it right here in my bag. I'll show it to you.
Just carry around a projector. Like
I got the computer upstairs. I got the DVD in my bag.
Basically on the same thing. I was wondering how you prepared for the role of Adam and Amanda.
Well, I just wanted to. I figured the greatest trick would probably be to make Adam a lot more kind of closed off, and then Amanda very open, because she's very strong and Adam's very weak. And so it's kind of, it's kind of like he was a little bit more hunched over, always kind of like a little weary in the eyes. He smokes too much weed. And then, Amanda was like kind of like the polar opposite, probably like that older sister that probably slapped him around a lot. It's like, it's kind of like that ideal of the strong, almost old school Katharine Hepburn kind of Hollywood starlet. It was kind of like the original thing that I kind of based it on. I kind of like just imagined Adam as a kid, trying to escape his life and kind of getting involved in like film or something like that. I just try to go from my perspective and then go into the character's perspective and kind of bounce back and forth until I find something that makes sense to me.
You didn't watch any movies like The Three Faces of Eve, or do any reading?
No, I stayed away from like a lot of that because I found like back in acting school, one of my teachers like told me when I was doing Richard III, he was like, do not watch any other Richard III's. You know, it's just one of those things where you make judgments on what you think other people do right, and then that in turn affects your acting because you're gonna be way too conscious of it. And so I didn't want to be conscious of it at all. I just wanted to feel it, and if it felt right, then the director hopefully would come over and say that was great. And if it felt wrong, he'd come over and be like, I didn't get too many of those. Yeah, that happens. Again. Bigger, faster. Hopefully that answers.
Yes, it did.
Yes, yes.
My question is for Jose. How did you know that you had finally kind of broke into the business? Like, what would you say was that role that pushed you from, hey, this is a lot of fun and I might want to do this too? This is actually a career and I've made it.
Do you mean a role that I did, or a situation, a role?
A role that you did.
Not a bread roll, an acting roll.
Okay. Let me process that.
Put it up there.
Yeah. I'm going to answer your question. So actually, I think it might, oddly enough, it was my very first role, which was a film called Alive. It was about a plane crash. It took place in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, 90s. So in that movie, they couldn't find the cast, so they went all over the world, and they wouldn't see me for like a year. They finally went to New York, and because of that homeless thing, they got to take me. And Frank Marshall, actually. Yeah. So anyway, so I got it. Yeah. So they gave me this part. It was the last role of it. It was the guy who went insane, and so I did this thing for them. And I got this part, and actually doing that role, which was so outside of me, I went completely bananas, kind of unnoticed, but it was my very first time, and I somehow doing that I could go that extreme the very first time. I knew that if I got lucky enough to work my way back from that in other parts, I'd do okay. But it was that one, the fact that I was so connected to the insanity of it, and it felt so liberating, and everybody was right there with it. I said, okay, I think this works. But then, then came the reality of the education of what film and TV is really about, types and ages and ethnicity. But it was that role that kind of said, okay, I'm in. You know what I mean? Is that?
Yeah.
Frank Marshall actually produced the movie you just did.
Yeah.
Which, this is another interesting story. I almost wound up doing that movie as well, and I was heartbroken when I didn't. The Fire Lord.
Oh yeah, Fire Lord.
But
subject.
yeah, but I'm happier now.